Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal.
What is up, guys? Jeff James here, and Brody Fultz, the incredible, luscious, unobtainable Brody Fultz. How are you?
I'm actually pretty good. I'm better now that I'm not helping my brother-in-law move in the rain, but we're good.
Way to go, Ethan. Did I peg the mic there?
Ethan.
I
don't think you did.
First of all, let's not say I'm pegging the mic. That's kind of gross.
No, we'll stick with pegging the mic.
Jesus.
It's too late now. We can't change it.
Dang it. Anyways, guys,
What a way to start off the episode.
That's right. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for joining the show this week. If you're new to the show, God bless you for having to hear that. Every single week, Brody and myself discuss gaming news from around the interwebs and beyond, and bring it to your ear holes on every major podcast platform and your eyes on YouTube and Twitch, which we're on right now. So every Thursday evening around 9:30, which 9:30 on the dot, baby. Here we are. We're live, so we did it. We're on time. Fantastic.
I know. We actually had time to kill this time, too.
Yes.
But, we told everybody we were going live at 9:30, so we didn't want to start early. But, yeah, it was nice. It wasn't like a mad dash to try to get things together.
Had it all set up. We had a sweet head bobbing cat on our stream to our sweet music. It was fantastic. But anyways, guys, like I said, every Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, you can find us on YouTube and Twitch going live. And you can also listen to the audio version of this podcast every single Friday morning at the butt crack of dawn. Typically, it goes up around 5 a.m. Takes a little bit of time to populate through some podcast platforms, but generally it's around that 5 a.m. So you should be up and you should have our episode for that awesome commute that you hate, that you take every single day.
Yeah.
You make Friday even better.
That commute you wanted back so badly, and now it's back, and now you want it to go away again.
I'd like to note that I think we're the individuals that put yay in the Friday.
Did we? Okay.
Just simply because of our episode that goes out on Friday.
Yeah.
Without it, it's just simply Friday. Stupid. Dumb.
Fair enough.
With our episode, Friday. Anyways, you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as our Twitch channel as well, where you can catch the video version of this podcast every week as well. And you can also see some other sweet videos that get uploaded there, like Brody playing some sweet games, and Brody and I trying to play sports games and failing miserably.
Hopefully next week I'll get the MLB one all around and get it uploaded. So we'll see.
Stoked. With that, what have you been playing?
I have been playing a little bit of Near Replicant. I think we played a little bit of Overwatch the other day, right? Yeah?
Yes.
Was that this week? Yes. And I have been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Rise. A lot.
Which was absolutely predictable.
Yeah. I put 10 hours into it this week, I think. At least. So a couple hours each night, and I didn't play it much over the weekend, but man, I'm into this game now. Absolutely. Just love this game to the point where I would possibly even consider buying it again once it came out on PC.
There it is.
I'm just saying.
All-time bestseller now.
I seriously really, really enjoy this game. One of my buddies, he's a big Monster Hunter World fan. He's put a ton of hours into it, and he actually texted me this morning and told me that he bought a Switch Lite and Monster Hunter Rise so he could finally get into it, because I kept talking to him about it, and I may have put a little peer pressure on him. It's fine. I'm not an awful person, just a slightly bad person. What have you been playing?
I played a little bit of Overwatch, obviously with you. Been a tough week. Just been trying to get a lot of stuff done before I go to a little trip I got to go on. And then I've been playing, oddly enough, tried to play NASCAR Heat 4 with my buddy Brad back home. He's not a big gamer. He's just a casual gamer.
Isn't your PlayStation Now subscription up? Or no? You still got a little bit of time on it?
I still have two free months.
Oh, I thought you had
I got
a couple
3 free
weeks.
months. No, I got some little card in the mail, and I got 3 free months. So, anyways, yeah. So he's a casual gamer, so we tried playing that. Boy, that game is broken. Let me tell you what.
How do you mess up a NASCAR game?
I don't know, dude. It's bad. We're playing it, and like I can see his car there. He tells me, he's like, dude, your car is completely effed up, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's just in the pits. But like on my screen, the car was fine. I was the Hooters car, number 69, and we would like go around the embankment and all this stuff, and he would basically. Like, you'd be going, the green flag would go, you'd be zipping out, and then all of a sudden, you would just see, like, these cars behind you just go like this. They'd be, like,
oh, boy.
moving back and forth, and then you'd be trying to take the turn, and this thing would just, like, hit the shit out of you, and you would just spin. And you're like, you couldn't tell anything. You couldn't tell what was going on at all, because all the cars were just, like, moving forward like crazy, and then they would dip back. So the game's completely broken, but...
You should have told him to pick up Wreckfest, since it's one of the free games this month. He would love that game.
Was it just a PS5 version of this free, or was it also PS4?
I think it was the PS4 version, yeah.
Okay, I'll pick that up.
He should be able to get it.
I'll tell him to get that.
Yeah, I bet he'd love it.
And then try to play some NHL 21. So that's what I did.
Nice.
Very
Sports
little
games, huh?
Very little gaming. Yeah, even in those two, there wasn't much. I'm hoping to make up for that gaming Friday night. I guess tomorrow. Well, when you listen to this in the audio version, it's always confusing.
Tonight. Depends. I know depends. It's weird to work around.
Going to a hockey game. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Gonna go watch the Vomits.
Nice.
It's gonna be great.
That one took me a second to look. Hang on. Wait, no.
Hang on. Okay, yeah, right.
Comets, right.
Yeah. So gonna go watch that. Go see a hockey game. I think there's only still 50% capacity or something like that.
I think it might be slightly higher than that, but it's still not full.
Do you know if you have to wear a mask the whole time during the game?
I don't know.
God, I hope not. What's crazy is this. The wife. I know we're kind of getting off topic, but who cares? Whatever.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
The wife was like, "Hey, we're gonna buy them at the box office when we get there." I'm like, "Well, why?" Apparently, they have added fees, for COVID bullshit fees when you pay for them online.
Really?
I don't want to piss anyone off in our local city, but I think that's dumb. So there's $20 of extra fees, and she's like, if we just show up, then we don't have to pay that. And
how does that make any sense?
I know. And if you want decent seats that are lower bowl for a game, it's $25. So it's or 20 or $25. So why would you pay double
$20 fee?
Right, for the ticket? Doesn't really make much sense. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of stupid. So that, and I got my shot, my arm feels like it's gonna fall off. So
yeah,
it hurts like a bitch. So if I go like this, it's just painful as shit.
Oh man, that's great that some people got to witness that live or can watch the YouTube video. For the people watching the audio version, you might want to at least go watch that.
This is where I wish we had a larger fan base. One day we will. But if we had thousands upon thousands of people, I would love if someone could clip that as if a hammer was coming into my fist like Thor when I went, ha!
Like Mjolnir's flying into your hand.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Or He-Man or something with the sword, and then the lightning comes down.
Yes, that's even better. I like that one even better.
Be fantastic. But anyways, going off topic, hit us with the upcoming games, dude, for this week.
May 7th, Blazing Beaks comes to PS4 and Xbox One. The Invisible Hand comes to PC. Resident Evil 8 Village is coming to PC, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PS5, and Stadia. On May 10th, Hood Outlaws and Legends comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One. And May 13th, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is getting a new DLC called Wrath of the Druids, which is coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia. Anything in there for you?
Not really. I mean, I'm not a huge Resident Evil guy, as the whole chat just goes,
right?
but I don't know. I'm not really. I don't. It's something, you know. It's something.
I know it's a huge game, and a lot of people are really excited. It seems to be getting pretty good reviews, like 83-ish, I think was like the Metacritic score on it right now. I mean,
Yeah.
which is exactly what I expect from Resident Evil, right? But we've talked many times, and horror games are not our type of game by any means. So I will be skipping Resident Evil. I thought about trying to get back into Resident Evil and play through some of them just because, you know, people love them so much. And I thought about jumping in at like 7 and playing 7 and 8 or something, but for now I'm going to hold off because I'm fully hooked into Monster Hunter. But I will say that this Hood Outlaws and Legends actually kind of looks a little neat. It's like a multiplayer, like pull off heist type of things. I'm going to see what reviews kind of come out on it and things because it's like a double A studio type of deal. But it does look kind of neat, and I will definitely check it out. It was one that we saw during, I think, Game Awards that we were kind of like, this looks interesting. I'm curious as to how much content it's really going to have and what the replayability is going to be on it. And it could be something, I think it was only like a $30 game too, $30 or $40. I don't remember, but it might be a game that would be decent to pick up and have a good weekend, you know, playing around in it and spending some time. But other than that, I'm not even through the regular Assassin's Creed Valhalla game, so I'm not even close to worrying about DLC. Again, Monster Hunter has taken over everything I play right now, so that's where I'm at.
I don't know. The last couple of weeks have just been kind of merp. But I mean, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, what is this? Nick said, also, I can't see people in the chat talk. It's odd. What is this?
Oh. You should be able to.
I don't know. I'm confused. Oh, weird. Anyways, games coming to Xbox Game Pass for May. So available now, you can get Dragon Quest Builders 2, as I just like choke on my own tongue. It's coming to console and PC. FIFA 21 is coming to console and PC. Outlast 2 comes to xCloud, console, and PC. Steep comes to cloud and console. Starting May 13th, you get access to Final Fantasy 10-2.
I purposely put 10 in there because I knew if I put a Roman numeral,
it's over.
Absolutely mess
It's
you
over.
up.
It's over. It's over.
Even though it's X and it's one of the easier ones, but hey, just for you, buddy.
Yeah, 10-2 HD remaster comes to console and PC. Just Cause 4 Reloaded comes to cloud, console, and PC. Psychonauts, you get that on cloud, console, and PC. And Red Dead Online comes to cloud and console, as well as Remnant from the Ashes comes to PC. Also, Game Pass is not profitable.
Yeah, I heard that.
Confirmed.
Uh-huh.
To kind of play off of our last week.
Yeah, exactly what we pretty much said.
The internet's mad. And we continue just to say stuff.
Yeah. I don't know how anybody thought it was. I mean, it was clearly to get people into it and then lock them into this ecosystem and eventually raise the price and probably piss a lot of people off. So, yeah.
No, hey,
that's what's going to happen. People aren't going to like it, and we called it. I'm just saying.
Take the win, baby. We're humble.
Right.
We're just the best.
PlayStation Now games for May. So Jump Force will be available until August 2nd. Neo will be available until whenever. And Streets of Rage 4 will be available until November 1st.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I did forget to say about the Xbox Game Pass games. I am going to try out Dragon Quest Builders 2. I've heard really good things about it, and I wanted to try it, but it never goes on a pretty deep sale on Switch, so I'll probably give it a go, and if I really like it, I might end up buying it on Switch. So, sorry. But anyway, back to the PlayStation Now games.
Right on.
I had to circle back to that. I got distracted by chat.
Always. Now there's chat, and chat goes on. It just, you know.
I know.
Somehow we just continue doing stuff. We just go, shiny objects in a row. Anyway, surprise, surprise, Gamescom 2021 is no longer a hybrid event. It is now digital only, and it will be entirely free for everyone. So that's a plus. You want to check some stuff out at Gamescom, and jump on there and get all the cool digital things that you can see, different conferences and different things, especially if you're looking to get into game development. You can take a look at some sweet little talks that they'll have there and little conferences. So that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm not surprised this went digital because we kind of we chatted about that a
Hybrid
little bit when
events don't work.
No, I mean, an E3 has kind of been a hybrid event for a long time. I mean, just because everybody has a stream that goes to YouTube or something anyway. But this when they first announced that this was going to be a hybrid event and half of people were going to be there live, especially as things are starting to tidy up a little bit as far as the COVID stuff a little bit, but yeah, I'm not surprised they kind of pulled the plug on that and just went straight to a digital event. But I am glad it's happening because Gamescom is a huge deal for the industry, and there's a lot of good things that happen there. So very happy to see.
Absolutely.
Xbox now has 97 backwards compatible games that have received the FPS boost feature, many of which are also a part of Game Pass and EA Play. So that's really cool. This was a shadow drop where they're just like, hey, we added a bunch more games. There's now almost 100 games that they added.
And just keep shadow dropping, man.
All the time. And I think that's honestly a pretty good tactic. But they did post they had a pretty good image where they're like, oh, all of them on one screenshot. And it was like a phone that was like this long, it's just massive. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. Obviously, we aren't going to list off all 97 of them. So if you want to find those, you can probably just do a pretty quick Google search and find all the games that are now have that FPS boost.
Yeah. Brody?
Yes?
How would you say the Wii U did in terms of sales?
Wii U? Not good. Not good at all.
How about the Switch, my dude?
I would say the Switch is absolutely killing it, my dude.
Comparative to the Wii U?
Yeah.
Is it, would you say, to the moon?
To the moon.
Perhaps Mars, baby. Nintendo sales update. So we got a sneak peek at this. The Switch has now sold 84.5 million units. 84.5 million units. They're going to get to 100 million. No problem. With software sales surpassing 587 million copies of software for it. And within the last year, 21 million Nintendo Switch and 6.19 Switch Lites or million Switch Lites were sold. The software sales highlights include Animal Crossing New Horizons sold 20.8 million copies. Mario Kart 8.
This isn't a year, by the way.
This is just an year.
Obviously, because Horizons. Just
what's even more concerning in a year, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold 10.6 million units this year, or last year, 2020. Super Mario 3D All-Stars sold 9.01 million copies, and Ring Fit Adventure sold 7.3 million.
Which is insane. I'm surprised that Ring Fit sold
wife
that many.
Loves Ring Fit Adventure. She plays it every day.
I have it. I haven't done it much lately, but I have it.
Yeah.
And it's actually really good.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. Seems like a decent workout.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's fun.
I don't enjoy running in place, but I mean it
you
works.
You don't enjoy prancercising?
Not so much. Not my thing.
It's a shame. It's a shame. Anyways, with this, I mean that's crazy, right? I mean, like, to have 85 million units or 84.5 million units sold.
Oh, it's
of a handheld / hybrid platform.
27 million Switches sold last year.
It makes you wonder too, like, would they really want to come out with a Pro right now? Probably maintain this for at least another quarter or two, right? And then maybe come out with something. I mean, Christmas, that's the only thing I could see.
I don't see why they would right now when they're still selling like crazy. Until things start to slow down a little bit, why bother? I mean, in my mind, don't get me wrong, I love a Switch Pro, but I don't think it's necessarily a wise decision to do it right now. I'm surprised that the Switch Lite numbers were as low as they were, though. I mean, I love my Switch Lite, and I know a lot of people, and there's quite a few people that play Nintendo consoles and Nintendo consoles only, so I could understand why they would want the one that actually attaches to your phone, or to your phone, to your TV. Yeah, but yeah, I love my Switch Lite.
I think if you look at the price too, like throughout the year, they had deals where like the difference was only like $75 at some points because you get like a gift card with it, and then it was like 50 bucks off,
or like a game or a controller.
So I mean, you sit there, right, and you've got like Mario Kart 8 in the box with it, because I'm assuming that's a metric that goes with it, with the 10 million. But
Probably.
it's like, you get Mario Kart 8 in there, and then you've got the choice where it's $40 more at that point to get the one that hooks up to the TV, or you get the light.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and we have both. I mean, I have
my
Switch Lite,
preference.
and then we have the normal Switch.
Every time I go over to your house and I pick up the light, I'm like, I'd probably use the light.
I exclusively use that. I hardly ever play on the TV anymore.
That's the most nerdy thing you've ever said.
That's fine.
I exclusively use the Switch Lite.
If that's the nerdiest thing I've said,
it's not.
In 2.5 years of
this
doing
episode.
This show.
This episode.
Yeah. So PlayStation has partnered with Discord. There's not a whole lot of information on how exactly this is going to look, but Discord will be integrated into the social experience on PlayStation starting in early 22. In order to make this happen, Sony did make a minority investment as part of Discord's Series H round.
Sony's going to make an assload of money, too, when they go public.
Oh, yeah. And this was, not too long ago, we covered that Discord was potentially in talks with Microsoft, and then those kind of fell through and stuff like that. I'm kind of on the fence about this. I'm fine with it because I do have the PlayStation, but I've wanted Discord to be cross-platform for a while now, because using the chat system in Call of Duty, for example, is terrible. Oof. It's so bad.
Oof.
So to be able to have Discord in there where you could use it across, Xbox and PlayStation, because we have buddies that still play on Xbox. And so it sucks when we try to play with them. It's a nightmare. So I hope if I were, let me figure out how I want to phrase that. If I was going to see somebody buy Discord, or at least partner with Discord, I guess I would have rather seen it be Microsoft, because Microsoft would be more apt to share that with PlayStation for the crossplay. But
okay.
I don't think PlayStation's going to play that way. I think PlayStation's going to keep it to themselves.
Yeah, I think they'll. They should, but it's smart, right? They should do that.
Yeah, absolutely, and I fully agree with that. From a business perspective, it's smart for PlayStation to do such a thing.
Microsoft could invest, right?
And Microsoft already has party chat on PC. So if you're playing with friends on PC, you can just hop in party chat and it's not a big deal. But PlayStation doesn't currently have something like that. So it is a smart move by them for sure.
No, it's a huge move for them. What I'm more looking forward to is the fact if someone's playing their PC, there's on Discord, I can just join up with them real quick, link up with them. I hope that they also just utilize the architecture of Discord and just put that forward to parties, because I feel like the clarity of voice on Discord is fantastic. The clarity of video is also fantastic on Discord. And if Sony can just take some of that technology and just put it into their system and say powered by Discord, totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. Totally cool with that.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I agree.
We'll see what happens. So it could just be, hey, you can log into your Discord.
Yeah, that very well could be. Might be all it is.
Yeah, but I would like to see it integrated some way into the current system, but we'll see. Cool. We got more official E3 2021 exhibitors. So we got the list. E3 now has over 10 major contributors for the show this year, with 5 additional being officially announced this week. So the new ones are Square Enix, Sega, Bandai Namco. Is it Seed Games or X-Seed Games? I think it's X-Seed. I don't know. Okay.
I don't know why they are considered a big one, because I don't even know who they are, to be perfectly honest.
Whoa, look at you sounding cocky.
Now you got to go to the old Google. I've been doing a gaming podcast for 2.5 years.
That's true.
And I've never heard of them.
That's true. We got to go to the Google machine here.
Let's see. You get it, my friend.
Let's see, my man. Okay, the Google machine, Rune Factory 4.
Oh, okay.
They're like a baby Square Enix.
Yeah, I think they're actually under Square, aren't they? Because I'm pretty sure Square publishes Rune Factory.
XC Games is an American video game company founded by former members of Square Enix USA.
Oh, okay.
It later became a subsidiary of the Japanese game company Marvelous. providing the localization and publishing services for video games and related materials. So it is pronounced Xseed. So, interesting. Okay, well, Xseed Games, Gearbox Entertainment, and just to rehash what was previously announced of who's going to be there as well, Nintendo, Capcom, Xbox, Ubisoft, Take-Two, Warner Brothers, and Koch Media. So that's that. I'm not a big fan of Koch Media being there, but hey, whatever.
It's probably just going to be not much of anything. A lot, because there's actually way more than just these as well. And most of them aren't going to have their own like keynotes or anything like that. It's going to be some sort of tied in.
Oh, you know what? I got to apologize. I don't mind having Koch Media. I don't think this is this is fine. I thought Koch Media was part of a company that is quite political.
Koch Media is the ones that own THQ Nordic.
Okay, so then we're good. Koch Media Group, like the Koch brothers, I'm not a fan of. So
okay.
Because of politics. I don't want politics in games.
Sure they are.
No thanks. No thank you.
Fair enough.
But anyways, yeah, so that's E3. I mean, in terms of the exhibitors, I mean, I would assume that means that they're all going to have their own thing. Their own stream, of their own direct of some sort, I would assume. With this being all digital. So that's a lot of work for you and I, my friend.
Yeah, we're going to be real busy that week.
Yeah, we are.
Except for, I think I might be out of town that week. Maybe.
Brody, why'd you do this? Brody, why'd you do this? No, we're good.
Nope,
June 12th.
I'm good. We're good.
June 12th to the 15th.
We're good. We good.
Woo! That could have been bad, my guy. That could have been very, 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 very bad. No. Yeah, that week, dude, we're going to be swamped. I mean, that's going to be a lot of stuff. Like, that's every day we're going to be streaming probably.
Yeah. Maybe even a couple different streams.
Yeah, each day.
Some of those days. Ooh.
It'll be the thing where we basically tell the wives, hey, it's E3 season. They go, oh, no.
It's coming.
Anyways, yeah, so check that out. Put that on your calendars, 12th to the 15th. Those are the exhibitors. So we should see some of a bit about, if these are going to have larger directs or if they're just going to have small releases or something. I'm assuming all of them are going to have some sort of stream or post some YouTube video or something. I don't know. E3 is weird now. Everything's weird nowadays. So
also true. Very true. So we have an update about Tom Clancy's The Division universe. Ubisoft put out a blog post this week that talked about some of the upcoming projects that take place within the Division's universe. So first up, we have Tom Clancy's The Division Heartland, a free-to-play game that is being developed by Red Storm Studio, which have worked on previous Tom Clancy titles. Entirely standalone game that doesn't require any previous experience with the series, and this is set to launch sometime around 2021 or early 2022 on PC, consoles, and cloud. We don't really know much of anything about this. It was just briefly mentioned, so it'll be interesting. There's some images. I mean, as far as the image goes, it was like a almost like a title screen type looking thing. But I'm curious to see what that'll be, and I hope it's not a battle royale.
It's probably gonna be.
It's probably gonna be a battle royale. There is the Division mobile game coming. Next to nothing is known about this as well at this point. It was just briefly mentioned in this blog post. Basically, this blog post was kind of like, "Hey, we're doing things," and that was about it. So they didn't give us a whole lot of details on anything. Mm-hmm. The Division 2 will be receiving new content. This content is set to release is not set to release until late 2021, but will include an entirely new game mode as well as new methods to level up and build out your agent. And Netflix is working on the Division 2 or the Division movie. This will be inspired by events of the original game. Jake Gyllenhaal and Jessica Chastain will be the lead roles, and Rawson Marshall Thurber will be directing. And there's also an original novel in the works that will take place after the events of the second game.
How bad do you think this movie's going to be?
Real bad. Not because of Netflix.
Not because of the actors.
not because of the actors, not
Before
because
people
of the
start
director.
freaking out
Right.
because there's an
Solely
inherent
because
curse.
video game movies typically suck. They're typically really bad.
Oh shit!
And I don't foresee this one being any different.
We got a thing here saying, will you be checking out Treehouse Live if they do it? It depends. If we hear like rumors or stuff that'll be shown off at Treehouse Live, sure. To be honest with you, Treehouse Live is kind of boring to me a lot of times, and it's just kind of people like sitting there awkwardly playing the games and having like awkward interviews. So, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on that. I mean, we're gonna do all the main directs. We're gonna do all the main streams and stuff like that, announces. But when it comes to smaller stuff like that, we'll have to see.
Usually, yeah, the Treehouse thing is usually just kind of a more in depth on like a few different games. We'll do the main presentation, but I doubt we'll do the Treehouse, especially if we're going to be doing everything else. I think we're going to be plenty busy that week, and the Treehouse usually doesn't bring a ton of new news.
Well, the Treehouse is usually right after the direct too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually there's another one that is starting like around the same time or shortly after, if I remember correctly, at least in the past.
It's always a giant lie, too, because they're never in a treehouse.
This is true, and that's disappointing.
That's disappointing. Oh, God. All
I
right,
feel like
moving on to one of my favorite topics, taxes. There will now be a 30% federal tax offset for video game development in Australia. This is the first ever federal tax incentive for game developers in Australia. The tax incentive is being delivered as part of the digital economy package and will be available to developers that meet a threshold of 500,000 Australian dollars, I'm assuming, in Australian spending. Any games that include some form of gambling or that do not obtain a classification rating will not be eligible. And gambling, under their definition, includes loot boxes.
Any loot boxes, yep.
So that's fascinating. So it'll be interesting to see what studios take this on.
Honestly, 30% federal tax is probably not enough to offset what they're going to make from loot boxes in most games. I mean, not by a long shot in a lot of them.
Yeah, but if you're massive company, you want to move money somewhere, so you don't have to pay taxes in another country, and immediately that money is going to get 30% shaved off.
Right.
Or not shaved off.
Like an EA, they're not gonna have FIFA developed in Australia just so they get that, because they make so much money off of the Ultimate Team. But they may ship some other things there where it's like Peggle. Yeah, they might develop the next Peggle in Australia. Now the classification rating is kind of concerning because Australia is very, very strict about what they rate. Like most recently that I remember,
it's basically like Canada.
Yeah, it's
but hot, and there's a lot of things.
Even more.
I think it's a little bit more on some things. It's a really weird country. It's like
any drug use will immediately kick it out like that. I'm absolutely drawing a blank on what this game's called. I even own the game, which is messed up. The detective game. I'll get it. You talk now.
Okay.
It's
an interesting blend of a country. It's got like a little bit of America, and then it's got a little bit of Canada. Then, like you said, it's got a little bit stricter policies and stuff like that. But I mean, it is fascinating, the country.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say it's more. Well, that's got a little bit British too, but I mean, Canada's pretty British too in a lot of ways. But
Disco Elysium. That's what I was trying to
all right, yeah.
That
so
one
like
recently that one just did not get classification in Australia because of the drug use in it.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weird,
It is kind of weird.
It's pretty messed up. But yeah, it's kind of like Canada, except it's hot and there's things that live in hot places that'll kill you. And in Canada, it's cold and there's lots of things that'll kill you that are cold.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of the trade-off. But yeah, it's so do they have like Grand Theft Auto at all? Or do they have like edited versions of Grand Theft Auto? This is the problem.
I can't remember
we sound
how that
like
works.
Just two ignorant sons of bitches right now.
Well, I mean, they really are that strict. So a lot of times, though, through Steam, they can get things because Steam isn't restricted only to Australia, or a lot of times they'll create like a US account and buy things or
Every
however that goes.
Aussie individual I've met, I mean, I think they'd be okay with seeing drugs. They've seen
Right.
a lot of shit.
I know.
It looks like you can get it in Australia.
Huh.
I'm just trying to figure this all out.
Yeah, it's weird where they draw that line. Here you go. Australia has had a. This is
Oh
from
my
Sports
god.
Kita. So Australia has a
Yeah.
storied history of banning certain video games, mostly due to their content. The GTA franchise has been banned and re-released in edited versions multiple times in the country. Most famously, GTA 3 was re-released as recently as 2019.
Check this out. Look at this article. This is hilarious. Australia's Minister for Home Affairs alleges that GTA is partly to be blamed for toxic male behavior. Australia is already more strict on video game regulations than other Western countries, but it seems like it could take a turn for the worse. Peter Dutton, who's the Minister for Home Affairs within Australia, made claims about GTA on Channel 9's Today Show. I've seen that Channel 9 a lot on YouTube. They're kind of funny. Apparently, TikTok and video games are to blame for the disgusting behavior towards women we've seen coming from the Parliament House over the past month. Oh, they've got a parliament. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm sure there wasn't, disgusting behavior going on prior to TikTok or video
here's
games.
the quote. If you're playing Grand Theft Auto as a 13-year-old boy, and lots of teenage boys will do, you can go in that game, not just, drive cars recklessly. You can go for a lap dance. You can go and shoot police. And so we need to have a broader conversation with the influences on those young boys, both in a family setting and a societal setting, and particularly online. Here's my problem with that statement. It's not, if you notice here, it's a 13-year-old boy. A 13-year-old boy should not be playing the game.
No, it's
Okay.
rated M.
It's like, it's supposed to be, it's
Teen Plus.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Teen Plus. I mean,
Yeah.
you need to, they have the ESR. If only they had a rating system, in these countries. Oh, wait, they do. They have the PEGI 13, the PEGI system in the UK. They've got ESRB in, I believe, Canada, the US. I don't know about Mexico. And then I don't know what they have in Australia, but I know they have a system in Australia.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, good God, man. I swear to God, too, if I keep seeing this fucking ad for Hero Wars everywhere I go. I've never played this game. It's on my phone. It's on my fucking computer. It's everywhere. But yeah, that's some crazy shit. Like, I don't know. The conversation always when it's like, oh, this is a bad influence for people. How about just being a better parent? Like, is it so hard to like sit there and tell somebody being like, your kid, would your 13-year-old boy, if he knew you could get a lap dance, do you think he'd be, curious about that and probably go do it in game? Yes, he would. Yes, he would. Absolutely, he would.
Absolutely. A 13-year-old boy? Yeah.
So then it's simple, right? Because then people are like, well, he could go buy the game. Well, if only the consoles had parental controls with a PIN code or password to lock it. Oh, they do, but parents don't give a shit.
And retailers aren't supposed to sell them to kids. So
Bro, there's literally like 6 to 7 different gates.
Yeah.
To ensure security for the child onto it. It's like, oh, Billy went over and played the game on, Jimmy's parents don't give a shit, and Jimmy's playing Grand Theft Auto 5 online, and, banging hookers and all this stuff. Okay, don't send him over to Jimmy's house anymore. Or tell, Jimmy's parents, hey, I don't want my kid around that kind of shit. I mean, just be a good parent. What the hell's the matter with you? You know what I mean?
I don't understand it, man.
It's so stupid. It's such a dumb thing. And it's just old people just complaining about it because they have no fucking idea that you can do that. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean you can lock the box?
It's really not that hard to set up parental controls on a console. There's even things that you can set it according to their age and then modify it from there if you really want to. So, people just need to be better parents and keep an eye on their own kids.
What's wild too?
It shouldn't have to fall into the federal government's hands to dictate who can play and what and who can't play these games. It's insane.
What's wild too is that dude is probably deflecting a lot of shit politically. Whatever, I don't really care.
Oh, I'm sure.
But then it's crazy that one of the individuals who's standing up against to it is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, it's not, I mean, what the hell are you talking about, basically? And it's just crazy. It's crazy to see all of this stuff go down. It's messed up. But anyways, yeah, I think some companies will open up there. I think you'll see some smaller studios, some like small, probably like an Ubisoft will open up like a small studio there, I think, on this news. And it'll just be like, very small basic games or something like that. Or there's got to be a loophole around it too, where it's like they don't sell the game or compile the game in that country. However, they create everything else except for the loot boxes. There's got to be a loophole, and they'll figure it out. And then, they'll send the code off to Montreal where they'll compile it and put a shit ton of loot boxes in it. So, I mean, they're going to find a way. They just have like an assload of lawyers on staff at all times. So,
yeah, pretty much. So there's a class action lawsuit against Sony over PlayStation Store exclusivity. The lawsuit specifically is referring to digital games only being able to be purchased through the PlayStation Store rather than being able to buy digital download cards from retailers. So the issue is that PlayStation now has a monopoly on the digital price of games, and the suit is claiming in some cases players could be spending 175% more than what they would be if they just purchased the physical copy. Hang on. I know. Sony stopped allowing third-party retailers to sell download codes 2 years ago. This is dumb. This is real dumb.
Are these the same, the guys, what?
I didn't see who it was.
Doofenshmirtz, Dirker, and Dickwad LLP that did the stick drift thing because they're like, wow, people aren't getting our book on mesothelioma. I guess we'll have to go over stick drift.
So there's more validity behind stick drift, at least in my mind, because those are jank, right? Like, that's a problem. This has been something for 2 years, and then buy the physical copy. Just buy the physical copy, and maybe have to get off your ass and put this disc in occasionally.
I can't in today's world. It's too dangerous for me to go to GameStop.
Well, yeah, okay.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
I just, this one is incredible, especially
also,
when they even cite the fact
they have a monopoly
that they could
on the digital price of games. Incorrect. It's an exclusive IP only to that system. That's it.
Well, and what gets
it's
me,
not like it's on Xbox and they control the price of it on Xbox.
Right. Well, and what gets me is the digital codes never go on sale. They are the same price that they are on the store. They never go on sale. You're not going to walk into a place and Walmart's going to have a digital download code for cheaper than what you could buy it on the store. That's not how this works.
Oh, also, it's a fucking piece of cardboard.
Right. And honestly, I feel like a lot of retailers don't sell very many of these. This is such an odd thing to go after.
This is like the difference too of when you buy it digitally, it's like paying for gas at the pump and it fluctuates, okay? And then you go buy the jug of oil at Walmart and it's the same fucking price as it was 3 months ago. Okay, right. Even though it's the same raw resource material. I mean, there's nothing here. This is a bunch of bullshit.
No, and I wouldn't doubt this. I mean, I guess I could see it going somewhere just because the people that are going to be handling this case know absolutely nothing about video games, but it's just, it shouldn't go anywhere. It's dumb. It's dumb. And digital games go on sale all the time on PlayStation and all over the place.
Like the argument of, well, they spend 175% more on, the physical copy than on the digital copy. That's because the digital copy can go on...
Yeah, vice versa.
Oh,
vice versa. They could be spending
more. Sorry, on the physical. My bad. I mean, that's also because it can't move quick. I mean, right. you've got at the click of a button, you can go and say, cool, I'm going to nix 20% off on this. And then you got to wait for some pimple-faced teenager to go get the keys, fumble with the fucking keys, the 30 keys on the chain, try to open the door to the glass, slide the glass over, or worse, take the stupid fucking plastic thing and put it on the side so the alarm doesn't go off in the middle of fucking Target. Take the case out, put new games in it every time. I mean, it's just stupid. It's really dumb. It's so dumb. Like it's
at a certain
ridiculous.
Point, just buy the physical copy.
I mean, this
the only
applies
time
to
I
every
understand
item.
What's that?
This applies to every item in the world. I mean, what you go into a clothing store and you I mean, what you go, I bought the shirt at H&M, okay, for $10 in the store. And then you go online, there's an online store only today, sale or whatever, and it's like, oh, I could have got it for $8. Son of a bitch, I'm going to sue them. I mean,
that's not exactly what they're saying here. I think in their mind, they think that the digital code should be sold for the same price as the physical copy in store, but that's simply just not the truth. Even when they had digital codes in store, they go for full price. They always have. I've never seen a digital code for a game on sale in Walmart.
Well, also most of like their exclusive shit too gets rolled into that like PlayStation Hits or Classics, and then it all gets the same pricing table.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like it follows it right through like its life. Yeah. Like you go like God of War, you're paying $60 at the start, and then next thing you know, a year later, God of War is only $40, both digital and physical, but they might have a sale for digital.
And then you can sometimes get it physical for like $10. I mean, it's the nature of it, and there's not inherently anything that is a monopoly here. I think that's blowing it pretty far out of the water. The only time I ever even like can see the argument for that, and even then it's a stretch, is if it was Switch and like the digital codes did go on a sale, because to me, I do like to have digital games on my Switch. That is nice, so you don't have to carry all these little cards around with you and stuff. But if I'm sitting at home and I'm playing PlayStation, I'll just get up and change the fucking disc. I don't understand what's so fucking hard about that.
Shame on you.
Right. How dare I? Oh, do I hate when I sit down and realize the game is not in there because my kids were the last ones to play and they were playing Miles Morales? Yeah, it sucks, but I can get up and change the disc. It's not a big deal.
Well, the other thing too is like just the whole. I mean, you could maybe put an argument too for like, oh well, COD, they have exclusivity for like new maps, in some cases new weapons, right? And they get like an advantage.
But it's not even the argument they're making.
I know, but I'm saying like if there's anything that would be an argument that would actually like, I don't necessarily think it'd be worthwhile like fighting for, but at least has some sort of a, hey, there's maybe something there, would be something like that. But also they paid to have that exclusivity. So like,
right.
What do you do? That's business. I mean, it's not like they can go change the price on Xbox.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's shit. Crazy. People are flocking from Google Stadia, my dude, to Haven Studios. So early in the week, it was announced that the head of product, John Justice, had left Stadia, but it is unclear where or what he's moving on to. Now, 6 more people have left the company to join former Stadia Vice President Jade Raymond at Haven Studios. Among this group of 6 are Corey May, the former head of creative services and publishing, and Sebastian Puel, the former general manager. This exodus comes shortly after Haven Studios and Sony announced their partnership for the studio's first game. So basically, Google paid the way for these people for the last 3-4 years while they're developing all of this. They built a platform. It hasn't done very well. It's not doing great. I see zero marketing for it. I don't think I've seriously, I'm not trying to bash it. I've not heard a single fucking person talk about it.
I've seen a few people, but it's people that specialize in Stadia and they're on our Twitter. It's like an occasional few people that pop in and out about it. But yeah. For the most part, I haven't seen any ads for it. I have not heard a peep about it aside from a peep or a tweet aside from a handful of people, and then you see news articles like this essentially that are mainly people leaving Stadia.
Yeah, well, I mean, Google paid for all these people to do all this kind of shit, then Sony just threw some money at something and said, hey, Jade, and then just take this entire studio and use it to make games, not a platform.
I mean, and I'm not saying this is the nail in the coffin for Stadia by any means or anything like that, but it's not a great look when half of your employees are leaving to go do something else.
So here's my thought on that is that game developers are good at making games and they suck at making platforms.
That's fair.
And they need to accept that.
Yeah. And I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, it's like the old it's like a director trying to make a camera company.
Right.
There's no point. He only knows the other side of the camera.
Yeah.
Doesn't know the inner workings of it. He's going to think he does because he uses it all the time. But he's not even close to it. Like, I think you just leave it to tech companies like a Microsoft, like a Sony, like a Nintendo, and you just let them build the platform out.
I agree.
So I think it's a little foolish. I mean, again, we always say this too with Google. Google has the ability to do a ton of shit, and somehow they really miss it quite often on a lot of the things they try to do. May I remind everyone watching right now and listening about Google Plus. Oof. Big oof. Big oof time. So, I mean, yeah, it's whatever. I'm excited to see what comes out of this studio. This will probably be like a huge hype machine, this studio, over the next couple of years and what they're possibly going to be coming out with. So I'm excited for that. Do you want to just quickly touch on the Epic and Apple stuff? Just because we're not so far into the episode.
I don't have a huge list of things that have happened here, but obviously the Epic and Apple thing has kicked off this week and really kind of started leaking some various different things. One of the big ones that comes to mind, and it's not even probably big for most people, there's some Rocket League stuff that has come up, like supposedly Rocket League 2 is in the works. Whatever that looks like. I don't know if that's even something that needs to happen personally, but
yeah, because they need to get another $14 out of everybody.
I mean, I guess.
Can I give kind of like the lowdown for people who might not understand what the hell's going on?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's been a while since we talked about it. So yeah,
basically a long time ago, feels like forever ago.
It does.
Apple took down Fortnite off the App Store, took the ability for them to push updates to iOS devices because Epic Games decided that they would put their own store within the iOS application, because what happens is when people purchase in-app purchases through iOS devices, Apple gets a cut of it because it has to be purchased through their store. And the reason why they do that is for different security purposes, to manage things properly, and they also own the platform, right? I mean, they built the whole platform. They own the ecosystem, the iOS device, they own everything, right? So Epic did that. They did this kind of shady way of going around with it and basically just launched that update that day where you could either decide to go through Apple or you could save the money instead, or save some money and go through their store directly instead for the item. So that's what caused the ban to it. And then it started this whole ordeal where the CEO of Epic Games, Tim Sweeney, which at the time Tim Cook had no fucking idea who Tim Sweeney was, which is the funniest thing in the world. Tim Cook was like in an interview was like, who? Which is hilarious. Love Tim Cook. Anyways, he basically he was saying that Apple has unfair practices, that we should be able to sell our own stuff within our own application, and that there are sweetheart deals that are made with other companies. For example, Amazon. For Prime members, for people signing up for Prime, I'm not too sure on the particulars of it, but Apple made a sweetheart deal with Amazon where if someone signs up for Prime, obviously if they were to do so through the application, it's like $100 a year, right? It's like $9.99 a month or something like that, whatever. If they were to do that every single month, there would be that royalty that would go to Apple through the in-app purchase. Well, they negotiate on a smaller amount because Amazon is a huge business, and they said, well, if you're not going to do that, we're just not going to put the app on iPhones. And at that point, Amazon was so big that people were, Apple went, well, holy shit, someone's going to get an iPhone and say, I can't use Amazon in it? That's kind of stupid. So they had to cut a sweetheart deal. So Epic's big claim is, hey, there are these deals that exist. We think we should get this deal. But they've also fucked up along the way. And Epic has done a lot of weird things where at first they were saying, we're for the little guy. And in many shows back, I'm going to point out how humble we are and say that we're awesome and we're great and we're fantastic at what we do. Because months ago we said, well, if I'm Apple, then I'm going to come out with a small business program or a small developer program that's good for small developers. And they did that. They lowered the rates. They went to 15% instead of 30%. For applications, which is great. That's fantastic. And then Epic changed tune because it tried throwing that into there as kind of the angle for everything. And now the biggest update on this is that through different forms of evidence and different investigations and stuff like that, and watching video footage, Tim Sweeney fucked up once and said, someone asked him, would you take a sweetheart deal if Apple gave you the sweetheart deal? And he said yes.
Right.
So the whole thing has been a motive for it, and it started to draw a lot of attention to video games, unfortunately, as well, because Apple's Apple Arcade, and clearly Apple's trying to poise themselves and build themselves up so that they can be a gaming service. That's why they've got their own ARM chips now, trying to get that architecture up so that it can handle games. And Apple Arcade's a smaller test to eventually go to a complete streaming platform for games like an Xbox would, or like a Game Pass. So the whole thing's been interesting. It's my own personal opinion. It's kind of dumb, but I'll let you speak.
Yeah.
I spoke for long enough. I'll come back in later.
So a lot of the things that are coming out take worth a grain of salt, because these could either be old deals or whatever, but these are things that are coming out from the Epic versus Apple kind of case right now. So one of them is that, that Rocket League 2 is in the works, essentially. Stalker 2 is going to be a 3-month Xbox console exclusive. I'm trying to find a few more here, but yeah, it's very bizarre because there's a lot of dirty laundry that is coming out during all of this, or just weird random leaks that barely even seem to pertain to what's going on. It says, here's one that says leaked document on Epic Game Store, free games until September 19 surfaced. It shows the buyout prices for all these different games, as well as essentially that the Epic Game Store is not profitable right now, and that it won't be profitable, or it's not expected to be profitable until 2024. It shows kind of just how much they developers, how much that they're making off of it, things like that. There's just a ton of different things that have come out, and they're all scattered. And I didn't collect them all because some of them were pretty obvious things that, yeah, of course that makes sense, right? But now I'm scrambling to try to find a few more. There was something about Rocket League is the full game is supposed to be coming to mobile as well as the mobile game that they're doing.
They're trying to go around this whole thing too by trying to put their games now on GeForce Now.
Yeah.
With NVIDIA as a way to kind of get around it, because NVIDIA GeForce Now was approved for iOS, and the other party that's kind of confusing now with this too is xCloud, right? It's kind of, and this is the issue, is that Apple has the devices. They did the R&D and built the devices, and they also built the platform. But now, I think we're in a realm that Apple really didn't see coming, which was these applications being able to stream games, and essentially a store within a store within a store.
Mm-hmm.
And so
honestly, xCloud's workaround was to use it through a browser.
Yeah,
they actually it's available currently through a browser for a beta. Here's another one that came out. Xbox has never earned profit from selling Xbox consoles. I didn't include that because we know that.
Yeah,
we've known that for a long time.
Yeah, typically a loss. Yeah,
profits come from commissions. Yes, we're well aware, but apparently that was big news to some people. So,
well,
Fortnite made greater than $9 billion in earnings in its first 2 years.
The reason why people are bringing up the fact that there's commissions, and then also nicely removing the fact that they don't make money on the consoles, and that the sheer cost to do these things too is ridiculous, and to uphold these platforms, especially the way that Apple does it, it's crazy. It's they're just looking for an angle. It's pretty bullshit. In my mind, I would actually be quite worried if Epic wins. And that sounds, people will probably be like, oh, you're an asshole because, you don't want the little guy to win. I do want the little guy to win.
They aren't a little guy, though.
Apple,
not even close.
I know, right? Exactly. So Apple did lower their rates for small businesses, for smaller developers. up to a threshold. I think the threshold is like what, 500K or something like that, or 100K, something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, ID at Xbox has the same thing as well. If you make up to 1 million or whatever, there's a program for that. There's a program through Sony as well, I believe. So I mean, these programs exist to get people up to those levels. The 30% cut, can that change? Sure, I guess it could change. It hasn't anywhere else, but perhaps they could change it. I just really don't want the biggest fucking person in video games being able to go around to platforms and just fuck them up for no reason. It doesn't, right. I mean, it really makes no sense. And then they play off on this political bullshit of like, Apple's a terrible company. Apple's so bad. They made the fucking product. They made the store, and Apple's entire thing is security and privacy. Mm-hmm. Like if you take any Android user and you say Google Play Store versus App Store, which is more secure, and you're not going to get some, I mean, maybe not secure on like malicious content, but which one's going to be full of dumb apps more than the other one? And they're going to say the Play Store. 100%. Right.
I have Android, and I love my Android, but
yeah.
By God, the Play Store is an absolute mess.
Right. And that's because they don't do the security checks and stuff like Apple does. They don't have the staff that runs that store like Apple has. I mean, they don't make the revenue that Apple does, but they don't maintain it to a certain extent. So it's like, these are all things that have to exist. And at 30%, that's what it costs. If someone buys a $1 app, they're getting 30 cents.
Yeah.
I mean, it's annoying. I hate it so much. It's stupid. It's so dumb.
Well, and in a situation like this, I mean, it's weird because like you said, I don't want Epic to win this either, because it is very much like they are the name in video games right now. Even though Fortnite isn't as popular, it's still stupid popular. Like, they're still making billions of dollars off of this game.
Yeah.
Fortnite made $9 billion in the first 2 years. Like, they're not a small company. And if they were to win this, it sets a bad precedent. And on top of that, though, I mean, there's not going to be another case that comes up like from a smaller developer in the same situation. Like, this is solely going to be one of those things that is about Epic and Sony, and it's not going, or not Sony, Apple, sorry. You're not going to see this from smaller companies or anything like that. I mean, even with the Xbox xCloud not being able to be put onto the App Store, sorry. Android user, I wanted to say Play Store. There wasn't a lawsuit about it. They just found a workaround. Like, Epic is getting greedy here is what's happening. And for them to win is going to set a very bad precedent that's going to cause issues. And I don't think that's right.
It's also like their legal basis from Epic is fucking weak. Like, here we go. Let me do my sweet, awesome share here. There's a quote in here where it says, after a short examination of Epic's online business strategy head, Thomas Coe, Epic called on Matt Fisher, App Store vice president, and the first witness employee from Apple. Epic's attorney prepared Fisher with anecdotes from frustrated developers, calling the iOS in-payment app payment system a joke and refund policies awful, the review process arbitrary and unpredictable, and the entire store plagued with outdated, low-quality apps. I don't know what fucking world he's on. I mean, it's bullshit. It's like name calling. And my big thing too with it is it was a campaign from the get-go set up, because when they launched this whole shit, they had the update, and within like an hour they had a video up mocking like an Apple ad from way back.
Famous Apple ad.
They had a Fortnite cup called Free Fortnite. All this bullshit. I mean, the whole thing's a hit piece. And to be honest with you, I'm going to flat out say, because I don't think many other podcasts will, who owns a lot of Epic?
Tencent. Like 40% or something like that.
Oh, no, I think it's over that now. It's like 50 something, I thought.
Is it 50 something
Let's
now?
make sure. Just because, we'll
double check.
People. 40%, you're correct.
Hey.
So 40%
I don't know
of
how
it.
I pulled that number out of my ass, because I'm
going to make a quick talk about this too. Tencent also owns TikTok. TikTok's currently under fire for numerous reasons. for security purposes.
They have their hands in everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
They're also a Chinese company that is backed by the CCP.
By the government. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you can't take that into, it's an American company and a 40% stake owner from a company that's clearly run from the CCP wants to fuck up an American company's revenue stream. I mean, that's what I see.
Yeah, absolutely.
If other people don't like that, I don't have to tell you.
Yeah, it was a big, like you said, within 45 minutes they had that add up. I mean, this was all planned. It was a big outcry to be featured in the news. Like there's nothing here that is really going to go through. A lot of this is airing dirty laundry and stupid stuff like that. Yeah. And I agree. I fully do not want Epic to win this because it is going to mess shit up if they do.
Well, and what's also crazy too is it hasn't really been out there in the news too much, but Tencent right now is under fire for their video game properties. They are fighting to try to keep their 40% stake in Epic Games and in Riot Games
in the US
because the National Security Panel has deemed that their users' data through their Epic Games accounts and other things have possibly been being used for terrible things.
Right.
For the CCP.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely wild. But I mean, that's the world we live in. And it's crazy because they know exactly what they're doing. And like you said, the dirty laundry thing, they're just playing with people's shit. They say, this is a terrible company. Look how bad this big company is. But then, people don't do their research and don't realize, Epic Games is sitting there with a $9 billion franchise. Just one of them. Just one. Not the other.
That's for 2 years.
Yeah. And now they have their own. And now they have their own store. They have a bunch of other things. They're backed by this company. It is what it is. So it's, as Nick just said, he just gave me a Jimmy Neutron brain blast moment. Yeah, I mean, just with the data stuff, I mean, I really hope people become more conscious of the data stuff. If you're a government and you wanted to gain data on a country that you wanted to, undermine in some form or fashion, right? You would go to video games. You can get as much data out of somebody out of video games. You can get access to their banking information, to their card, their sex, their age, their names, their behavior within game, and be able to feed off of that and figure out different things. I mean, what other digital asset can you watch someone use for hours and learn from them,
right,
and understand them? So it's crazy stuff. It's some creepy shit going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. So, but anyways, I'll do it for this episode to bring it all around. Guys, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. Like I said at the start of the show, we go live every single Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube and Twitch. Check us out there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We get new videos and the video version of the podcast. And every single Friday morning, like I said, we'll get you get a fresh, new, juicy audio version of the podcast hitting every major podcast platform. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button or the follow button on Twitter if you can. Sorry, on Twitch. Good Lord. Holy Lordy. Guys, thank you so much for listening, both the audio version and watching the video version. Means a lot. Leave us a review. Helps us out a ton as well. You can find me on PlayStation. My PSN name is Maple Jeff.
Mine is Luscious Brody. I'm also on Xbox at Luscious Brody, and just about everywhere else at Luscious Brody. If you want to play Monster Hunter with me, slide into those DMs.
Let's go, baby. Yeah, slide into Brody's DMs on Twitter. What is it, at Brody Faults?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Until next time, stay safe. Think for yourself, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.